Welcome everyone. The topic for the day is impact of behaviors and language, right? We are talking about communication in terms how do we talk about it in the physical way when we use body language and the language we use, the verbal communication skills, right? So this is what we will be discussing in today's presentation thereby. So just to begin with, non-verbal communication, remember, most of the time it has been realized that we communicate mostly, or in fact, more than 50% of the time through non-verbal elements only. For example, your appearances, as the case might be. How do you appear? If you are looking shabby, probably things are not going good on your front. Probably if you're looking very happy up front and in a sparkling clothes, you are very much in a happy state of mind. That is what your appearance would be telling it to you. Definitely, your body language will tell it to you. The tone, the way you speak, the pace of your voice is also will determine whether you are in a hurry or you are basically very afraid of the situation or apprehensive about the situation or there's an eagerness in your voice and so on and so forth. So non-verbal communication, before somebody process our verbal messages, take in appearances, let's say, registered our enthusiasm and sincerity, noted our tone of voice, processed all the non-verbal messages. If this message reinforces the content of the verbal tone, it means that we send powerful messages. Yes, that is what we are trying to tell it to you. Before you actually utter a word, before you actually state the content in your mind, the way you present yourself, the way you carry yourself, the energy that you put in will tell a lot about the message and about yourself in the state of mind. Remember, if these two things, whatever you are uttering, whatever you are saying, and your appearances do not match, they may cancel each other, and the message delivered will be null or void in that case. So, language is not only a source of communication, there also means also remember this is very much going to come through messages can be communicated through a lot many various and lot many interpretation, but let us understand that there has to be a parity between your body languages and the content that you want to speak around it. If you are happy, definitely there will be perkiness in your voice and in your spirits. If you're sad, probably, and if you are pretending to be happy, the content might be on a positive note, but probably the perkiness will be missing, and that is what we are looking into it. Gestures, it includes movement of your hands, body, face, or other parts, as in we talk through our faces. Postures of body language, facial expression, eye contacts, emblem, haptics, appearances, and object. We will talk about each one of them in this particular slide. Remember, that is not an issue at all. So still, gestures, obviously we all understand the facial expression, the body language, the eye contacts, emblems, haptics, and appearances and objects. So first thing is the body motions, right? The movement of your body, limbs, head, feet, legs, facial expression, eye, behavior, postures, everything counts. Remember, this is how you're going to tell it to you, whether you are leaning forward, backward, or how are you crossing your limbs, or what is the state of affairs of your limbs. The head is tilted right way, left way, is an up steady. Everything counts. Every motion of your all your parts of your body actually makes a statement. So look, you look at the picture. If you look into it, this particular says the person is very happy, extremely happy. So that is what a personality traits. At times, the attitude of a person depicts the way he carries himself altogether. Probably you must have come across with many people who hardly smile, and then there are people who never stop smiling. So it's their outlook in their life that goes around it. Despite good things happening, people are not very happy. Despite all things going wrong, people are contented at all. So it's the outlook that counts. Remember, this is what we are talking about, the information in terms of emotions, personality traits, or attitude, as the case might be. So let me talk about the emblems. Yes, these are the emblems which actually go around it, and there are many emblems that Probably I have not jotted it down, definitely not jotted it down, but you must have come across in your minds as to what you say. For example, the things which I've mentioned out here, let me go through it so that you can get a better understanding of the emblems that we go around it. Thumbs up means okay, everything is going right. V with the fingers, with with the index finger and the middle finger, which comes around it. It's victory. V for victory. Finger towards the temple, as if you are shooting yourself. Is a suicide thing, kind of thing. Hand grasping the throat in a difficult situation, choking. Both of your hands put together on your throats, and you try to grasp. Hand to your mouth is eating, as in if you're hungry or you're asking to eat. Tilted hey, eye closed is something where it read that you are mentally fatigued and you want to go to sleep, you want to take a rest, you want to go into isolation, you want to be with yourself. So these are the emblems that actually happens around it. Again, repeating it, a thumbs up is equal to okay, V for victory, finger pointing to temple meaning suicide, hand grasping the throats means choking, hand to mouth eating, tilt head, eye closed, sleeping, and so on and so forth. So, giving it use of emblems, I'm very sure about it. Insults somewhere down the corner. You might be frowning. You might not be stating exactly that. You might not be vociferous. You might not be using body bold. Should I say bad languages or using slangs, but you can state that you are feeling insulted through your body altogether. Probably your eyes are down and so on and so forth. Similarly, for directions, when you can ask for people to come, as in call with your index fingers or with your hand, go. Similarly, when you want to stop a person, as in you can put up your show your palms towards the person, as in not to come, go slow, and so on and so forth. There are greetings in the cultures, in various cultures. For example, the most universal greeting that comes around is shaking your hands or probably embracing each other. So greetings, these are basically greetings in the departure methods that goes around it. Yes, I have given you a thumbs up around here. If you have understood, I am sure you have understood what emblem is all about it. So that is what emblems would be depicting. So basic use of emblems, selected response, yes, when you tilt your head up and down, yeah, no, when you tilt your head left and right, and so on. Maybe I don't know physical state, when there are emotions which are triumphant, angry, or sad, as the case might be, if you have come across with it. This is what we are looking to express ourselves through. So postures are through gait, walk, sitting. That's a position of the body that we're talking about. It. How do we walk? How do we sit? Is it upright? Is it slack? And it will tell a lot about you. Gestures, movement of your hands, legs, fingers. Are you busy with your mobile? Are you obsessed with your hands? Is your hand crossed? Is your hand open? So motion of a head, hand, body emphasizes the idea or emotion while speaking around it. And definitely the most common thing about it is the facial expression. It's your eyes, it's your eyebrows, it is your lips, it's your chin, which tells a lot about the content of the message, thereby the sensory channel. It is also important to remember that communicating, we not only use different frame of mind, but also use various sensory channel. For example, verbal words or verbal content, auditory content, or voice tone, visual content as gestures and facials expression, and sometimes a sense of smell and touch also. This will let me know as to what we are looking into. Now, if the smell is very good, probably you might have close your eyes and enjoy the moment. But if the smell is very bad, probably you put your hand onto your nose as if uh, things are very not in the right direction. So it's smelly things. So at times even sensory channel can be discussed through body languages altogether. The silent languages and non-verbal communication. Remember, even not communicating is a form of communication. That is the action of silence. I am very angry. I'm not talking. So I am not talking, state that I'm very angry. Or vis-a-vis, most of the cases, how many people react how? If I am very angry, I'm loud, I'm vociferous, I'm using slang languages, I'm using bad words, bad contents. So, but then absence of that is also state that I'm angry. So silence, expression in the eyes, gestures, postures, walk, facial expression, vocal cues, touch, appearances, all these can be communicated without words. This is what I wanted to tell it to you. Everything can be communicated without words, all the way, every way. So, emotions, surprise, fear, disgust, anger, happiness is what we are looking as far the emotions are concerned. Remember, emotions are all about uh, these elements, which is surprise, fear, disgust, anger, happiness, and sadness. Now, four basic body languages. What we are the basic things that comes around it is responsiveness and reflective. Response, as in you're very eager to it. Reflective is when you've understood and then probably giving a response to it. So there are two things, and then is a fugitive and combative. What is fugitive? Fugitive means probably you have seen in the deja vu feeling comes in. You've been there, done that kind of scene. Fugitive, it's actually bored. And combative, you are very angry, you are not able to tolerate the situation altogether. So there are four basic languages: responsive languages in sense of the body languages, responsive, reflective, fugitive, and combative. So two basic groups: open or close, or forward or black. So in this particular slide, we'll talk about open and close. The next slide will be forward or black. Now, open or close is the most obvious position that people comes around it. People with folded arms, legs, turns away the signal that they are rejecting, or they are apprehensive, or they're not very comfortable with the message, situation, or the person, as the case might be. Whereas people showing open hand, fully facing you, both feet planted on the ground, are very much appreciating you, acceptable to the situation, and probably are very eager to go with the flow. Then comes the forward or backward. Now, how what is forward or backward indicates is the how the person is actually leaning towards you. When you're talking, when it is done, if he or she is leaning towards you, states that he is very eager, probably, and if not, pointing backward, being very reserved and probably rejecting the messages. So this is what we are looking into it. At times, people might be sitting straight but looking elsewhere, probably at the ceiling, at the window, cleaning their glasses, fiddling with their phones. This is positively they are going through the motions of being into the situation, but they are not very happy with it at all. So that is what forward and backward body languages would be characterized by. We come into the non-verbal. Not all non-verbal communication goes through movement. Let's say the static self-presentation characteristics. Let's say body height, weight, hair, skin color, breath, odor. Now, in case what is happening, if people are fat or people are lean, are they coming from well-to-do family or they coming from poor? It tells something about it, right? If the hair is not combed, if the hair is well combed, if the hair is well presented, actually, it tells something about the personality. If the skin color, if you look, the skin is very shabby or skin is not looking healthy, again tells about the background of the person. The breath, the odor, if he or she is smelling from his mouth or probably from the body as such, again tells a lot about non-verbal communication, and approximately without any movement and things. The mere sight, the mere understanding of that particular gentleman or lady will give you a particular perception, or you will form a preformed notion about the person. Artifacts, when objects interact with the person to send a new cues. In terms of lipsticks, if it is a bright, flashy eyelashes, false eyelashes, wigs, perfume, clothes, people would like to augment their appearances with artifacts altogether. That shows that they are very interested altogether for to gain your attention. Then is the environmental factors associated with the communication events that impinge upon the human relationships, but not a part of it. For example, furnitures where we are emotionally entangled, architectural style, interior decorating, lighting condition, colors, temperature. Now, these will make whether the person is very cold or a warm person altogether. You go to somebody's house or you go to somebody's office, you will come to realize about the ambiences of the office just by entering into it, and that is what environmental factors into. Why? Because the person who occupies that house or office will bring a change in the personalities of the environment altogether. Well, how it's might be furnitures, might be architectural style, interior decorating, lighting, condition, colors, etc., and so on and so forth. Remember, we always say first impression is the last impression. So the importance of first impression can never be negative. But the first impression happens every time that we initiate communication, every time, each day, every week, every interaction. The first few moments will tell me to you. Positive impression makes communication much easier and definitely much comfortable. Similarly, negative first impression can cut off the relationship before it can actually commence. That is what we are looking into it. So first impression includes dress, grooming, voice, handshake, eye contact, and body postures. This is what the first impression would be looking out here. Similarly, for the languages of gestures is the body language, non-verbal communication are transmitted through eyes, face, hands, arms, and legs. This is what we are talking around it. How do we sit? How do we walk? Each individual has certain gestures like words or sentences which are pertinent towards their usage only, and these can be difficult to difficult and isolated dangerous to interpret in itself. So therefore, consider the gestures in the light of everything that is going around you. So if you can understand, at times what happens is you might not be very much comfortable with the language that the person is going around, or the language is foreign to you, but the way he or she is presenting it to you will automatically tell the message that he or she wants to going around, despite the language barriers that comes around it. Eyes often is told as a windows to the soul, is an excellent indicators of feeling. Honest person has a tendency to look straight into the eyes when they speak. At least listener accept it, like it. People avoid eye contact with other person. When an uncomfortable question is asked, try to reduce tension and build trust rather than increase tension. The raising of one eyebrow shows disbelief and two shows absolute surprise. People are classified as right lookers or left lookers. Right lookers are more influenced by logic and precision. Left lookers are found to be more emotional, subjective, and suggestible. Let us understand the face contact. The face is one of the most reliable indicators of the person attitude. Definitely, yes, the facial expression gives a lot of cues. And by analyzing the expression, probably interpersonal attitude can be discerned and feedback obtained. Some people try to hide their true emotions. How do they do it? They frown. Absolutely, they frown, which shows they are unhappy. Anger, smiles, they shows which are they're very happy. Sneers, disgust or dislike. Clenched jaws, fisted, is all about tension and anger. And pouting lips may be looking as very sad. The way you want to go around it. When I say pouting lips, is not both the lips, the upper and the lower lips. It might show something else, but when you are pouting your lower lips only, it shows emotionally you are very sad or upset. Hands, again, I'll tell you about the hands, about the body language of the hands. Tightly clenched hands usually indicates the person is experiencing a difficult situation. It is very difficult to relate to a person who is under stress, definitely. Yeah. Superiority and authority are usually indicated when you are standing and joining your hands with your back. Cupping one or both the hands over the mouth, especially when talking, may indicate that the person is trying to hide something. Probably, yes, probably is telling a lie. Putting your hands in your cheek and stroking your chin generally portrays thinking, interest, and consideration. Probably when you're putting your hands on your chin, when you are listening, probably, yes, it shows that you are interested. Fingers bent across the chin and below the mouth shows critical evaluation. Probably, yes. And when you are actually looking up in the sky, rubbing gently behind or beside the ear in the index finger or rubbing the eyes usually means that the person is uncertain of what they are saying. Leaning back with both the hands, supporting the head, usually indicates a feeling of confidence and superiority. That is what we are looking into it. The arms and the legs is crossed arm tends to be signaling defensive. Uh, on the opposite way, when we are opening our arms, that means we are basically indicating change or openness, acceptability to the fact whatever has been presented to us. So cross legs tends to seem very disagreement. People who tightly cross their legs seems to be saying that they absolutely are not in sync with you. So that is what you need to understand with the arms and the legs, as the case might be. Postures. Let us go when sitting and walking. Sitting with your leg crossed, elevated foot means slightly circulation means boredom or impatience. Whereas interest and involvement are usually projected by sitting on the edge of the chair and leaning forward, slightly leaning forward. Remember, people who generally walk fast and swing their arms free and tend know that what they want to do and what are they after. So they are very objective oriented. They are very well focused. On the other hand, people who walk with the shoulders and hunch and hands in their pocket tends to be secretive and critical. They don't seem to like much of what has been done around it. Dejected people usually scuffle along with their hands in pockets, head downs. People who might be morose, might be sad. People who are preoccupied or thinking usually walk with their head downs and hand clasped behind their backs, and that is what we are likely to see around it. So let us understand those gestures altogether. Remember, there's a certain combination of gestures which will actually give you wonderful indicators about the person's true feeling. Now, these can be clubbed together. So each gesture is independent or dependent on the other. So analyze a person's body language is based on a series of signals to ensure that the body language is clear and accurately understand. All the message, all the gestures, everything fit into the mold rightly. So when they do not, that means there is an incongruity or there is a difficulty or they are absolutely not in sync with each other. So things are very, very wrong, or you are not in a right frame of mind. For example, a nervous laugh. So, is the person nervous or is the person actually happy? So, a laugh generally indicates a sign of relaxation, but if there's a nervous signal in the body language, that means the person is trying to escape from the present situation, probably are not comfortable altogether. So, common gesture clusters are open hands, let's say openness, unbuttoned collar, leaning slightly towards the chair, removing coat or jacket, uncrossing arms and legs, moving closer. So when people are proud what they have done, they usually show their hands are quite open. When they are not, they put their hands back into their pocket. When people show signals of openness, that means they're generally beginning very comfortable in your presence, which is absolutely good, which is very good. It shows openness, people are accepting you. Whereas on the other hand, as a defensive postures, people will have a rigid body. The arms and legs are tightly crossed, the eyes glancing sideways or darting occasionally. Minimal eye contact, that is what we are looking into it. Lips pursued, fist clenched, and downcast head. Common gestures clusters, nervousness, whistling, jiggling, pocket change, fidgeting, twitching lips. Absolutely, whatever you call it, it is all the defensive sectors. It's a minimal eye contact, it is eye glancing, it is not being focused. So, evaluation just says that the other person has been very thoughtful and is considering what you are saying. Typical evaluation gestures would include tilted head, definitely yes. Hands to the cheek, leaning forward, chin stroking. On the other hand, when it is on a critical or they are on a defensive postures altogether, the body will be drawn back. The hands is to the face, but the chin is in the palm of the hand, with one finger going up and the cheek and the other person positioned below the mouth. This is generally unfavorable. Remember, this is generally unfavorable. To gain time for evaluating the situation, people might fidget with their phone, light up a cigarette, remove eyeglasses, and probably does a lot of things. Probably take out the handkerchief, fold the handkerchief, put it back. A final negative evaluation gestures is dropping the eyeglasses to the lower bridge of the nose and peering over. This is what we are looking into it. Now let us understand how what is suspicious, secrecy, rejection, doubt, when these are negative connotations that goes around it. So these are sideways glances, minimal or no eye contact, shifting the body away from the speaker, touching or rubbing the nose. When a person do not want to look at you, it means he is being secretive, has private feelings in opposition to what you are saying, or hiding something. Sideways glance with suspicions and doubt. Shifting your body from someone means you wish to end the conversations, meeting, etc. Touching may indicate doubt or concealment. Now let's say what is being shown by readiness. Well, readiness is related to goal oriented, probably people who are focused, probably people who are getting interested to get things done. It is communicated through dedicated of the goal and usually communicated by sitting forward at the edge of the chair. This may negatively be give by the appearances or overly anxious also is what we tell it to you. So let us understand the clusters of boredoms as or impatience as the case might be. We will be talking about the unproductive feelings. Remember, it's the drumming of your fingers, the cupping of your hand, the foot swinging, the brushing, the picking of a lint. You name it and everything. People are fidgeting, people are passing time, people are purchasing, people are not reacting, people are just going through the motion. It will tell it to you that they are bored. So this is an emotion that you love to see in other people than they and in you. It is conveyed by a small upper or inward smile, hands open, arms extended outward, eyes wide alert, a lively and a bouncy work, a lively and a well modulated voice. So, saying what we really mean at the end of the day, at the end of the presentation, I would love to say the price we pay for not saying what we mean or saying something we didn't mean can cause guilt, anger, loss, or self esteem. Remember, accusation, screaming, and aggressive can't exactly elevate our position. With this verse, I would love to finish this particular presentation, and I'm sure of you, everybody of you understood what is communication through body languages and gestures. Thank you for watching this video.